top of the evening to you. This is the beginning of the cartomancy reading. If you want to watch the full reading, if you're intrigued by this, go ahead and subscribe and watch the full cartomancy reading on my channel. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful for my subscribers. It's really cool to watch these channels grow. This deck is very old, and I found it recently in the recent past, and it's one of my old card decks, and so I'm using it for my cartomancy readings. And so I will pull a card, and then I ask that God bless and protect us, and send gratitude for blessing and protecting us. Hallelujah. Amen. All right, so the Four of Pentacles, well, it's not the Pentacles because we're not doing tarot, and now we're into the extended reading. This is a matter of stability, of material stability. It's funny because I was just talking with a man about the number 4. I did a delivery to his building, and we started talking about how in some ways, you know, in buildings, because of superstition, they take out the 13th floor. And in other superstitions, they take out the 4th floor. And if you add the 1 and the 3, right, from 13, you get 4. So 4 is kind of like it's like the test. It's like the test round of the thing that has been birthed. And it's a square is actually there's not a lot of movement that can take place within a square, which is why in some superstitions they believe 4 to be unlucky, because energy gets stuck in the corners. In the tarot deck, underneath the 4, we have the 4 of hearts. So 2 4s, so 44. So this is a matter of protection. And the Queen of Pentacles, protecting one's... Well, you know, in my studies, you know, things like the witch trials, you know, those were a matter of property rights, right? And women were accused of being witches when they were... like if their husbands were dying and the women had property left from their husbands, they would often get called witches so that the government or the powers that be could take their land. That's what this makes me think of. So there's this Queen of Pentacles figure who's like not necessarily exciting, but see underneath you have the 3 of... So yeah, let's keep that for something else. The Queen of Pentacles isn't necessarily exciting, but she's stable, you know, unmoving, and that's exciting in some ways in itself, and that gives a sense of protection. The Queen of Pentacles is or of Diamonds is a likes nice things, likes that cush life, and I can relate to that because I've been homeless. I was homeless I've actually been homeless off and on for a long time, and it's humbled me. It's great because I don't need a lot of things, but I'll tell you, I like nice things. Like I like being clean. Like you might not think of it when you look at me because like I literally have like 3 outfits that I wear, and I do that on purpose. But I like nice things. I like cush. I like the, you know, fine things, because when it comes to these fine things, less is more. You don't need a lot of it. It's like, it's really fascinating. And it's also nice to be able to I am a mother, so I have to be able to provide. So I'm relating this to myself, but if this information relates to you, you know, give a thumbs up, because it's not just for me. I know I'm not the only one. And the double 4 is also a matter of protection and stability. You're protecting you're protecting, it goes kind of both ways. You're protecting your heart and you're protecting your what you've worked for, your harvest. But it's important to understand that having a peace of mind is just as important as knowing how to tend to your emotions with things of the material realm. That is a skill, but you also have to know that sometimes your emotions might want you to do something now where your peace of mind might be involved in a longer term perspective. And so, like, for instance, like right now, my dog, she wants to jump on my bed, right? And my emotions want her too. They want her to be on that bed and cuddled. But you know what? She has a nice little spot over here that I've made for her, and she likes to roll around in dirt and poo-poo. And I don't, if this was her room, you know, I would understand if she wanted to jump on the bed, you know. It's that kind of a short-term, long-term satisfaction. Like, for the short term, it's cute to be able to share a space and be cuddly. But I don't really want to have to clean my sheets every day because somebody who likes the smell of shit. You know, actually, huskies are pretty clean, though. So if you don't mind moving away from here, that would be great. Thanks. Good girl, you ate! And this thing too, this queen that's showing up here too, you know, it's the men that would protect these women with the property rights in the witch trials, for example, would also be called witches. If they try to stand up for them, the powers that be would also call those men witches as well. So just, you know, when you think of like you know, what witchy and stuff means, I think that's why this next card is significant, because you have this this is like a card of magic. The three of clubs is it's like a creative enterprise. It's like and it involves having kind of a magical perspective, a spark, you know, and somehow these sparks get and we have this 10 of spades coming out, and these sparks get kind of destroyed. They get convoluted because simply because it's a power struggle, because some people want power more than they want love. And so following this is the two of spades, and the two of spades is a matter of peace. It's like a matter of truce, or like a standstill. It's a what's the word? Stalemate. It's like a stalemate. It's like yin and yang. It's the yin understanding that there is a little bit of yang in it, and it's the yang understanding that there's a little bit of yin in it, and that these creative projects, you know, or forces, you know, are not to be fucked with. You don't want to fuck with power. You know, you don't want to fuck with your own power. You know, it will backfire. It will backfire. When you use, it's one thing when you're like learning how to use your own power, and you just kind of have to see what boundaries, what your limits are, what you can handle, you know. But it's another thing to understand what someone else's limits are and to use your magic to manipulate, you know, and that's a matter of awareness. Sometimes, like, you know, children, for instance, like, they are master manipulators because they have to manipulate to get by in life, because they're asking everybody for everything. We live in a world where the children have to ask everybody for everything. So how do you get what you want? You know, you have to learn how to ask the right way from your resources, and depending on what your parents are like, you know, these children, you know, if their parents give them anything they want, I'm telling you, and it's not just children, it's people. If you keep giving, they will keep asking. Like, it's just going to happen. It's not even disrespectful. It's just what happens. It's like, if you can go to the same water well every day and drink from it, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you go to if you have a place you can step outside, go get your fresh spring water every day, why wouldn't you do that? And that's the same with these relationships. If you give, and somebody keeps asking and you don't say no to them, why would they stop asking you? And it's not even necessary. It would be, it's not even necessarily manipulative in the sense that if you like giving, then it's not manipulative because you're doing what you like to do. It's manipulative when you're supposed to be getting something back out of it and you're not getting back what you deserve, you know, but people are telling you that you will be. There's this ace of hearts over here that's really calling to me, and it's like this gift card. But underneath it, it's like, the gift of wisdom is not, you have to really, really, really be ready for tower moments, several tower moments in your own consciousness. It's like in consciousness, it's like in the Tool song, hang on or be humbled again. You know, the Seven of Wands that's following it tells me that, like, these ideas of this, everything's every ending is a beginning, every beginning is an ending. There's a blind spot in that, because in some cases you have to be able to enjoy the ending for a new beginning to start. And if you didn't get to reap the benefits or your harvest in a sense, there's going to be this sense of unfinished business. Whether or not you want it to be there, like, even if you don't want it to be there, it's just like any loss that comes like after hard work is going to leave a feeling of it's like, what I'm getting at, the warning is, don't celebrate too soon. It's in the line from the song, to finally understand that to focus on winning is losing miserably. A Beautiful Catastrophe by Soliloquist of Sound. Because in a way, nobody's winning in any of these battles, because these battles are all, half of these battles, most of them are all so futile. And I don't mean to disregard anybody's like personal experience, because I can't, first of all. Second of all, I would never want to do that. What I'm talking about is these battles that we get wrapped up in are matters of the flesh that are not going to last. And they won't be there tomorrow or the next day unless you choose to keep these matters going. And by focusing on yourself winning all the time, means that there has to be a loser. It means that there's somebody losing, and that in itself is nobody winning. And and that goes like in war and stuff, like within war, nobody wins. And I, for one, I have a heart of a battle. Like, I love a good, battle. Like, I think it's just so epic. And, I understand those warriors. Like, when you die, you fucking go to heaven in war, like that stuff is real to people. And then yet there's also this idea of peace, and that, like, it's just, war is just a perpetuation of violence. And so, like, when you win that war, it's like, it depends at what cost. It depends at, it's strange, because when, it's like, when you get blessed, it's like you want to celebrate and share and show it off. And sometimes you should be able to. Sometimes a person should be able to celebrate and share their accomplishments. I guess the only reason why somebody wouldn't want to share their accomplishments is if it wasn't for everybody. Or if somebody told them this is only for you, it's not for everybody, it's only for you to celebrate in your own way that you celebrate things without without company. I mean, this is a matter of like misery loves company. Like, do we keep the company that we keep because we're miserable and it gives us an excuse to stay miserable? Because I don't want it. I don't want that company. Burdened. Nine of Wands. Three of Swords. Heartbreak. Queen of Wands. Yeah, like our burdens end up being our blessings. Our heartache ends up being like what tells us what we actually care about, you know? And once we accept it, it's not that hard to, it's not that embarrassing, it's not that humiliating, it's not that bad to have it's like better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. It's better to have had a glimpse of love than to never have had a glimpse of love. And it's not to take it away either. It's to give it. It's that seed. It's that chance to even fathom what. Oh, actually, look at that. That came out upside down, but I'm just keeping it upright. It's that chance to even fathom what that kind of life is. You know, do you ever meet people that are just like, nah, like that shit can't happen. That's never gonna change. It's always been that way. Nothing's new under the sun. All that stuff. You know, in some ways that's comforting. Nothing new under the sun is super comforting. But like I often wonder like that people can we fathom life without war? Like what do we do now? All of our bills are paid, all of our debts are paid, all of our relationships are fine. Everybody in the world is fed. The wars are all ended. Everybody's taken care of. All your personal loved ones, no homeless, Now what? Can we actually fathom where we would go from a place like that? And or do we actually believe like, no, we can't, that can't happen because you wouldn't appreciate anything without the negativity. Is that true? I'd like to think that you shouldn't have to have like a bunch of like tragedy to appreciate something good in your life. Like, or me at least. I'd like to think that I don't have to have some tragic thing to remind me of what I already have, like all that shit, like when you're growing up and they say like, oh, starving kids in Africa. It's like, well, there's anorexic bitches in America, so what the fuck? Like it's kind of like I just lost my train of thought. 5, 4, 3. 3, 3. So this deck has 2 9 of 9 of clubs in it. Or is that a 6 and a 9? No, that's 2 9s. I think we're gonna end this on the 99. The theme card of this reading is the 9 of Wands. Peace, bless you, and thank you for watching.